Now we will try to describe mistakes that can make a security policy ineffective. A general rule is that a security policy should define both allowed and forbidden use of the system. Let's try to visualize an effective security policy. The barrier you can see in the picture is a good metaphor for such a policy. It was probably placed there to slow down cars driving on a small street. However, as you can see, it's easier for the drivers to drive around the barrier than to wait for it to go up. That doesn't really make children playing on the grass nearby safer. A poorly thought out security policy gives similar results. The bottom line is that you mustn't create a security policy that would make users look for ways to bypass it. Now a few words on privacy policy in general. If your firm doesn't have a privacy policy, how should you go about creating one? First, you have to describe the threat. Next, you should define the scope of responsibility. Then you ought to determine who and under what conditions would gain access to the system. It means you should also specify how to apply for an account or a login. A real-life experience. In order to get a login to the IT system in a certain company, a new employee had to go through a very complicated procedure. They had to fill in a form, then get the signatures of their immediate superior, the IT department manager, and the branch manager. The application would then go to the IT department and they would create an account. The procedure seems well thought through. It certainly prevents unauthorized people from getting an account. However, in a large corporation, one day may not be enough to find both your immediate superior and the IT department manager to get them to sign your application. And obviously, if you don't get the signatures, you can't hand in the application and you won't get the account. If you don't get an account, you can't work. It may not help you make a good impression in a new job if you wait 3 days to start working because you don't have access to the IT system. Nobody would like to be in such an awkward situation. So in order to make it all happen faster, you would probably call the IT department asking when you can get the account. And people in the IT department don't like such phone calls. Well, some may think that preparing a number of blank applications signed beforehand would be a good idea. That's what they did in the company I mentioned. After some time, they discovered increased traffic on their www server. It turned out that somebody had been using it to store and share films. Every film was put there by a user by the name of John Doe. Obviously, there had never been a John Doe working in that company. Sometimes a user account must be deleted. Therefore, a security policy should also state who, when, and how an account would be deleted. In one of the next modules, we will discuss the issue of password security, which is also a part of security policy. Security policy also includes the issues of using network resources, local and remote access, and data security. Users must know how to categorize data by public, private, confidential, and sensitive. Otherwise, you won't be able to get the users to comply with a security policy. The rules of a security policy should also include Internet identity authentication principles.